Welcome to Cashflow. In this video I'm going to show you how to enter manual bank transactions. To do this, all we need to do is go to the bank module on the left hand side of the screen. Once we're in the bank module, you'll see three columns. We have our view and add transaction column, we have our bank feed column and our reconciliation column. To enter transactions manually into your bank, all you do is go to the relevant bank account and click on the View Add Transaction button. This will take you through to your bank account where you will see all previously added transactions for the date range that you want to view. To add a new transaction, all you do at the top of the page is choose a date for the transaction. You need to choose the nominal where you want to post it to. Put in a comment, so that a description next to this. How much the value was, including VAT, so that's the gross total. And then choose your VAT rate, 20%. And that will calculate the VAT as well. Once you've done that, just click the plus sign on the right hand side of the screen. Once you've done that, you will see that transaction has now been added in and is posted to the right place within your bookkeeping. To repeat that process, we just go back in, choose a date, and we can choose somewhere else that we want to post to. So if we just say this was our rent that may have gone out, and I can just type in a comment, so that was rent, how much my rent was, add in my VAT rate again, and plus. And that will just track at the bottom here. If it was a payment on account, you can see you can actually choose your debtors control account, which will then bring up your list of customers. So if one of your customers has paid you some money, you can actually choose that customer record, type in a comment, and then say this was actually money in, how much they paid you, and then you can just add the transaction. And we can see below that transaction has now been added into the system. What that means there, if we go to our customer screen on the left hand side and go into our customer record and go to invoices and stats, you'll be able to see that a payment on account has occurred for £500 into our current account. So that will record in the correct places within your software. If we go back to the bank module on the left hand side, we're just going to go back into the View and Add Transaction option, and we'll see on the right hand side of the screen there are various tick boxes available. If I tick on that box, we'll see some options. I have the option to delete that transaction. If you've made a mistake or an error, we can just take that out. We can also create transactions from here, so I have the option to assign this directly to an invoice. If I click on the Assign to Invoices option, this amount that's been paid in, if I choose the drop down list, I can now see all of the outstanding invoices for Allied Radio listed within here, and I can just click on one of them, choose the payment method, and then assign a payment. That transaction we now added as a bank transaction has actually been paid off against an invoice, and we can see now it's got an invoice number listed within here, and if we go back into the customer record, you'll see that payment has now gone and we've paid £500 off that invoice. If you've made any errors to the transactions rather than just deleting them, if you just click into a transaction, you have the ability to change the date, the code where it needs to be posted to, whether it was money in or money out, the full amount including VAT and the VAT rate that needs to be applied, and also a description of what that transaction is. And once you've made any changes to that, if you just click update, that will then change that transaction within your banking area. And that's how easy it is to add in manual bank transactions into your Cashflow account.